Lesson 5. What does it mean to play in tune? This was part 2 intonation from Learn Violin Fast, book 2. So far, we've only played by placing the left fingers on tapes. You know you're playing the correct note when your left fingertips is on the tapes. But if you watch more advanced players, or me playing the violin, or students and professionals, you'll notice that they never use tapes, so how do they know where to place their fingers? If you recall, in Book 1, Section 13, a half step is 5% of the string's length, and a whole step is 10% of the string's length. You'll also recall that no half or whole step is exactly the same distance, as once you press your fingers down, the string is slightly shorter, thus the next 10% or whole step is slightly smaller. You can estimate the distance in rough measurements. For example, the first tape is about 1 inch, the second tape is about ½ an inch from the first, the third tape is about ½ an inch, but a little bit smaller. But how do you know exactly where to place your fingers? Now, the violin tells us when we're playing tune, when the open strings vibrate and ring, and this is called forced vibration or resonance. Forced vibration is interconnected objects will be forced to vibrate if the fundamental frequency is the same. Interconnected objects are the strings, and the bridge is what connects them. So if you look at the violin, you'll notice that the bridge, right, supports all the 4 strings. And when we hold the violin, whether we pluck or we bow, what actually happens is really, really cool. And if you look inside the violin, there's a little piece of wood that is under and behind the right leg of the bridge, and it's called the sound post. It's a small piece of wood that goes from the bottom of the violin to the top, and it's specifically on the right side of the bridge and a little bit behind. And you'll notice that if you look inside through the F hole, the left leg of the bridge has absolutely nothing of the sort, but you'll notice there's another piece of wood inside. Now, the piece that's inside that is under the left side of the bridge is called the baseboard. There's a piece of wood that is glued to the top of the violin that runs exactly under the left leg from top all the way to bottom. And when it is glued, the top of the violin is pressed together and it's under tension with the baseboard. So the way that the violin works is really genius. It's really, really cool. When the string vibrates, what it actually does is it pulls the bridge slightly to the right. And then, because there's a sound post here, the sound post acts as a lever. So the left leg of the bridge essentially is going like this. And the left leg has the baseboard that goes longitudinally on the violin. So when the strings vibrate, the reason the violin can be so loud without amplification is this very clever technique that people figured out in 1500s. That if you have a lever or a sound post on the right side of the bridge, and you have a longitudinal piece of wood that keeps the entire top of the violin under pressure, if it can vibrate as a lever, and the left side of the violin's bridge is what shakes the entire top, producing 90% of the violin sound. So because all the strings are interconnected by the bridge, you can actually, if you gently hold your left hand and you put your left elbow on your stomach, and you can actually feel the bridge. You can feel the bridge vibrating as well as the top. If you just hold the instrument, the entire thing vibrates, but the key here is the bridge. So the bridge interconnects all the strings, and in the next exercise, we're going to learn the exact math, and we're going to actually look and see and hear that forced vibration. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.